let's talk about cryotherapy, because that's what this video is going to be about. So let me get cozy here. My dog just came down my stairs. Let's just pretend this isn't a cat, it's a ferret now. In July, I was in Atlanta and I was not doing very well physically. For those of you who are new to my channel, I have an autoimmune disease called systemic lupus, and it can cause a whole bunch of different symptoms. I was having a really bad flare. My medicine will work for a period of time and then it'll stop working and I'll get sick and I'll have to like give me a steroid shot or do something until I get back to non-flaring is what it's called. So I was going home to Atlanta and I got really, really sick. My doctor gave me a steroid shot and I mean, like, I was not doing well. My joints were super swollen. I was in a lot of pain, super exhausted, just not doing well. And that's when my hair started falling out, which is why I wear a hat now, because my hair just keeps falling out and I've got a lot of bald spots now and I'm not ready to shave it. Anyway, I'm in Atlanta and I've been wanting to try cryotherapy for a really long time. I had bought a Groupon in LA, God, over a year ago, and in true Jennie fashion, I just never got around to using it. I moved and then I wasn't as close to the place. So, I mean, I still have the value of it. I need to go use it. But anyway, I hadn't. I was in Atlanta and I was not feeling well. And I thought, you know what? This might be interesting. Why don't I try cryotherapy right now when I'm not feeling well to see if it actually makes a substantial difference in, my dog is crying. Come here, Eddie. Come on, come on. To see if it makes like a significant difference in how I'm feeling right now when I'm not doing well. See, genius idea. So anyway, long story short, I called around. Surprise, surprise, Atlanta has not called up to Los Angeles. There's not a lot of cryotherapy places in Atlanta. There are in LA, they're everywhere, but in Atlanta there weren't. But I did find a place that seemed like it would work for me. I called, talked to the lady, turns out she normally didn't take clients, but I told her my story and she said, you know what, just come on by and I'll do this for you. And I was like, that's so awesome, thank you. I'm not gonna give her name or company away because I just got the impression that this isn't something she normally does and I'm not gonna give her company name away. I liked her and everything, but okay. So cryotherapy basically is you go into this chamber and it is very, very, very cold. I'm trying to find the exact temperature these normally are because the one I went to was colder than the norm. So it can go between negative 100 degrees Celsius and negative 140 degrees Celsius, which is the same as negative 148 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 220 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's really cold. And this woman I went to made it even colder than the factory setting. She had done a ton of research and like talked to some of the people who even created the one she had, and it ended up being fine. She uses this like every day and she does it with a lot of professional athletes in Atlanta. The thing I was scared of, I was going to chatter because whenever I go outside and I get cold, my teeth chatter. I was scared that it was going to be unbearable. I was afraid it would like hurt me, that it would make my symptoms worse than better. Those are my main three fears. As far as the chattering, she explained to me, you're not gonna chatter. It's a different kind of cold that your body experiences. It's like a deep within cold, and so you don't chatter. It's more of you feel cold, but you feel it in a different way. And that was true. I felt it in a completely different way than say I was going out in the wind and everything around me was freezing. As far as did it make my symptoms worse? No. And I'll explain that later. And then the other one was, will it be unbearable? It actually wasn't, and it went by super fast, a lot quicker than I thought it would be. Price-wise, it differs where you live, and it also differs if it's your first session. Some places have where you can get memberships and you can go multiple times a month. That all depends. I think like the average session ranges around 30 to 40 bucks. Because this was my first time, it was 15. So this particular woman does what's called a double cryo, which means she will put you in for cryotherapy, take you out, warm you up, and put you right back in. So you do it twice in a row. So that was a little scary, having my very first time be twice in a row. I was so scared. Like, I want to reiterate how terrified I was, and it ended up being completely fine. I went in there and I went into this room. She gave me some slippers to wear. I wore pants, I wore a shirt, and I wore gloves on my hands. She said to hold my nipples because it can really make your nipples kind of cold and chafe. So I was holding my nipples the whole time. You climb into this chamber and it raises the floor so that your head is above it. You can see out, you can see everything. You can watch, there's numbers on the side and you can watch it lowering. I asked her to talk to me the whole time because I wanted it to go by quickly.
It's outgasses because liquid nitrogen's cold, it has to wait to evaporate. It should be feeling cold. I'm jealous because I'm gonna get it out for you.
How often do you do this?
I like to do it daily for about 2 weeks and then stop because there's benefits that happen when you do it daily. One of them is that your body produces certain enzymes that helps. Okay, and you be careful stepping down. So the first session I did went by very quickly, very quickly. It was not unbearable. In fact, when it was over, I was like, oh, is this it? Cool, literally. So I got out, I sat down and I warmed up. My skin was really cold to the touch. But beyond that, I didn't feel anything weird. Then she had me go back in. So when I went back in, this one was different. It kind of hurt, and it hurt in my joints, the joints that have been giving me a lot of problems when my flare was going on. That's what really hurt. And she said that was normal because what cryotherapy does is it tricks your body into thinking you're going into hypothermia, which does something with flushing. It rushes like a chemical in blood. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but when your body thinks it's going into hypothermia, it does a bunch of science stuff that a bunch of scientists have written about, and it reduces inflammation. It can help with long-term issues like autoimmune stuff, joint stuff, arthritis. The lady that I saw was talking about how there was this girl who had eczema all over her skin, and then she did it and it reduced that inflammation and her eczema started healing. She was a model. A lot of athletes do it because it speeds up recovery time because you don't get that inflammation in your muscles and joints. So I was really pumped, like I was super pumped about doing it. But the second time I went in, like I said, it hurt really bad in those joints. And it felt like it was a lot longer. I think because I was actually, you know, feeling it this time. And I got out and I sat down and I warmed up and I was fine. The immediate effect that I had, I was so hungry. I was super hungry. And I read that cryotherapy can burn over 1,000 calories because it really is getting your body working. So that's obviously why I was hungry. And then I waited because the effects are supposed to take place. Some people, I guess, get it immediately. She told me some stories of some people that did have immediate results, but for me, it was not immediate. The only immediate thing was I was starving. And then throughout the rest of the evening, I couldn't tell. I honestly couldn't tell if it was working. I think in my head, I was expecting to have just an immediate, I feel amazing, my joints are down, like no inflammation anymore, doing great. That was not the case. But I did feel like if this was something that I did on a regular basis, it would help me tremendously. Like if I did this either daily or even a couple times a week, even weekly, it could keep my symptoms at bay. It would keep the inflammation from recurring or having a harder time from recurring if it worked. If I was able to afford it, I would totally give that a shot. I would totally sign up for several months worth at like one of the places where you can get a membership. I would totally do that and then try it every day or every couple of days and just see what happens, see if that really helped and made a difference in my health. But I can't afford that right now. I'm glad I did it. It was really an interesting experience. I'm looking forward to doing it again, like I said, when I can afford it. And
I would recommend it. I mean, obviously talk to your doctor first. It might not be safe for you. I know that there was like a thing I had to sign. Some friends of mine had said, I wish I could try it, but I have Raynaud's syndrome, which is when you have poor circulation to your fingers and they turn blue and numb. The lady was explaining that that's actually, they found that it can help that because it rushes the blood through your body. So it actually increases circulation to these areas, so it does the opposite effect of what you think it would do. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying what she said. That could be inaccurate, I don't know. She's a registered nurse, so I mean, I believed her, but she's the only person I've talked to about this, so I don't know. But there was a list of contraindications. I would imagine if you have like metal in your body, it probably isn't good for you. Again, I'm making that up. I don't know. I would just imagine. I'm gonna stop talking about what I imagine. But yeah, I would recommend it. Try it out if your doctor says it's okay. I think that's all I have to say on the subject of cryotherapy. Wasn't that interesting? All right, so if you liked this video and you want to see more videos about me or my chronic illness, or I do comedy parodies, I do unboxings, I do vlogs, I'm a new YouTuber, and I've done a handful of videos now, and I'm just gonna keep going because I love it. It's so much fun. I would love it if you subscribe to me. I think that's it. I will see you whenever I decide to film a new video. Until then, have a great day. Bye.